After 7 years of a protracted court battle, the sons of the late IPHC Church, Bishop Glayton Modise, have told the court they are permanently withdrawing from the ongoing court succession battle with costs. Our reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones is there, and he joins us now live from inside the courtroom. Pule, what's happened so far in court? I did see, for instance, outside you were covering that part, and still, like we always expect, there were a lot of church members there, but inside court, what happened?
Well, what we witness right now is a move which will see an end to the court succession battle that has been ongoing for about 7 years as well. And the sons of course, Bishop Glayton Modise, who passed on in 2016, permanently withdrawing from the case after 7 years of the case ongoing, and of course this happening just 2 weeks before the trial that was supposed to take place. But to get more reaction on this matter, I'm joined by Vusi Ndala, who is the spokesperson of the Jerusalem church branch as well, which is on the outskirts of Pretoria. Mr. Ndala, thank you very much for chatting to me. Now, just almost one would say win for you here. What does this mean now? Now that the sons of Ndada Glayton Modise, the late Ndada Glayton Modise, have withdrawn from this court case.
Well, thank you, Jones. I would say it's partial. Obviously, you have a context of saying why it is partial, probably because we still have to move from here going forward. Yeah. But to say we are excited is an understatement. So we are grateful and very happy that now the court reached a decision that it has reached today, and the order that it has put down today on the background of the two contenders of the leaders of the church permanently withdrawing. That therefore leaves the church to say who their leader is, because the two have permanently withdrawn from the case. That makes us happy. We'll be able now to move forward. We know where we stand, we know where the church stands, and then very soon, before the end of the week, we'll be holding a media briefing indicating to members, those who are not part of the church, waiting for this matter to be resolved. Now that it is resolved, at least we have a way forward.
What does this mean for the church? Of course, we've seen the sons withdrawing, but who then becomes the rightful leader to lead the church forward? Is there a council that will recognize who becomes the leader of the IPHC going forward?
Yes, look, on the 12th of January 2017, there was a council that was elected. And on the 4th of February 2017, subsequent to that SGM, which, by the way, was ordered by the court, and there was an executive committee that was appointed. So that executive committee, from round about August 2018 to the 3rd of November, when the resolution was made that the church recognizes his great successor, M.G. Sandlana, as the leader of the church. Hence, Leonard Modise the following year contested that he cannot be the leader, he is the leader, while Tsepiso filed that application in 2016, which the church said, no, you can't be the leader of the church. Hence, the two went and formed factions to contend this leadership. Now, we are saying, now that they've withdrawn, we have a leader that they've been contesting to say he is not a leader. It is Leonard who said he is not, with the church having recognized him in November 2018. So the church said to Tsepiso, you are not, early in 2016, following the passing on of Comforter M.G. Modise.
But is Ntate Michael Sandlana, who's the leader of the Jerusalem Church branch, IPHC, is he the son of the late Ntate Bishop Modise? What is the process there? Can anyone just ascend from any senior leadership position in the church and become the leader? Is he the son?
Look, it's a pity that this question keeps cropping up, because the church has got nothing to do with the biological lineage as to who should take over after the sitting comforter passes on. That question is irrelevant. The relationship we have with the leader of the church has got nothing to do with the biological profile, his descendancy and where he comes from. It has got to do with our spiritual association with him. He's got sent. It's got nothing to do with a biological profile. Therefore, the question as to whether he's the son or not is irrelevant. It's unfortunately, had this case started today for the next 4 weeks, as it was planned, we were going to show evidence that the two predecessors, both the founder and the comforter, did say this is not a family church, this is not a Modise church. Not once, not twice, more than 3 times. We had those exhibits, those video footages where those predecessors were saying that themselves. So the question of whether it's the biological son or not is irrelevant. I hear that there's a DNA issue, as it were. That DNA, it was brought by the former executors, sent by the family to say, we hear the rumors that there is this person who claims to be the son. He's not claiming, right? And we want him to undergo a paternity test. He obliged. There was a court proceedings. There is a judgment that was handed with cost against the former executors. And in that, 2 things only, the judge said, and which is derived from the affidavit that our father deposed to. It says there's no need for our father to undergo paternity test because he's not claiming any cent from the estate. He renounces his right because his father, when he prepared him for this spiritual role, he said, do not look for worldly things. I'm sending you to look after the church and pursue your spiritual obligations, right? So in that order, the judge say there's no need for this person to undergo a paternity test because he has renounced his right. And in that judgment, it says clearly, it shows that they are using this so that they use it in this leadership. From there, he's not a biological son. So therefore, that judgment, it is not our father who said, no, I don't want to do the DNA. He challenged them to say, under which circumstances do you want the NDA? I mean, the DNA. So we ended with that judgment, which I've shared with you already.
Okay. What happens now? Are you going to be speaking to the other factions of the church to reunite the church and stop what has been going on for the past few years?
Yes, what's going to happen now, that we are the church, is upon them. Now they've withdrawn. They are more than welcome, right, to engage us, to say, now that we have withdrawn, you are the church, where to from here? But for sure, what we know, and I hope they will oblige, they will be compliant. Now that we are here, they've abandoned the leadership of the church. In essence, they should be vacating all the church properties, right? And in that, it is them that you say, look, we've abandoned this. We don't want to be leaders of the church anymore, but then where do we go from here? And then the church council will resolve and take a decision from there. But as it stands, now that we are here, the church says, or would say, vacate all the church premises now that you are no longer contesting the leadership of the church. You are just like any ordinary member of the church, unless their followers decide that they are the leaders of their own formations.
Thank you very much. Of course, Masego, it seems as though those are quite strong words coming out of there. What happens next? It seems those particular branches of the churches that have broken apart from the Jerusalem IPHC branch will now be, maybe requested to vacate those premises. This is something, of course, the Jerusalem church will be discussing. Now that we understand that the sons of the late Glayton Modise have permanently withdrawn from this court case where one of the sons, Leonard Modise, wanted to be declared as the rightful leader of the church. It'll be interesting to see how really this unfolds. I will be chatting to one of the leaders from the Zirbakom faction just later on in the day, just to get their side of the story as to what will they be doing next now that they've withdrawn from this court case.
All right, Pule Letshwiti-Jones live for us there. Let's leave it there for now. Of course, churches do have breakaway factions. In fact, this is not anything new, but of course, this puts a 7-year succession battle to an end.